Hi, CrAzzYmrBC here, and today I'll show you more torpedo tests. And this is what most of my tests were like. We'll start off with this first. Today I wanted to try first off to encase the torpedo. So I gave them a nice kind of backgroundy camouflage, and when they'd hit, for some reason it would blow up, but if you look right here, it wouldn't release that. And I tried shorter lengths, I tried longer lengths, and it just seemed like no matter what, it would not work for me. So this is probably a couple hours into playing today, and this was the closest I started getting finally. So I'd done something different, and I'll show you what I did. And you'll see that the container still did not blow up, but it's a lot closer. I can see it now, and I know I just got to tweak it a little more. Alright, so what I did here was I took the front armor piece off and put just the explosive, and I took the top and bottom layer off of where the cargo container was. I don't know why, but for some reason that made all the difference in the world. After all the testing I did, countless revisions and everything, all it was just a simple removing some armor blocks, and the torpedoes worked. So this is the first successful test, and what you'll notice is interesting is with the armor in front, first it hits and you see the damage, and then it explodes. So that's interesting. It went in a little bit and exploded. Unfortunately, with this design, it doesn't seem like the rock really gets in there with much momentum. It just kind of falls in there, and yes, it has weight, but if you hit the wrong place, it would just simply glance off. And see, it just kind of rolled around. It didn't really do much damage. I mean, it did, but nothing too structurally debilitating. So what I did is I took off all the front armor pieces to make a flat face and pretty much put the explosive right on front. So it would instantly explode as opposed to being delayed and slowing the momentum of the torpedo down. And I'll test this on a 10-layer heavy armor. As you see, just like the original design, it goes in and it goes through, except this time it goes all the way through. And what I think caused this is the stabilizing fins that I have, which help make sure that the torpedo has a flat face when it hits, so that it stays facing one direction, and the torpedo will, or the rock will go straight through. So overall, I think that that's an improvement on the original design a little bit. Alright, so for this test, I have been requested, not only on the forums, but by several users on YouTube also, to put a gravity shield and see how that would affect it. So I put 5 facing upwards, and I didn't show it on this video because I realized it later, but I removed the one that was the original gravity generator so that there was none facing down and giving an advantage to the torpedo. So this was the very first test, and I think it was quite interesting, actually. So you'll see it's the design that has the explosive right in front, and you watch. It goes pretty far in, but look what you'll notice. There's the rock. And yes, it's going up, but there's something interesting. It doesn't just fly straight out, it goes through the ship still. And as we look, did pretty significant damage. The cockpit was right here, and it's gone. I mean, that destroyed, or pretty much disabled the ship. And you'll see all the gravity generators are still intact. But what I think makes a difference here is the 2 generators on the torpedo. If you'll notice, the torpedo came in kind of angled, and what that did was, instead of just flying the rock straight back up and out, it came in at an angle, and as you see, the other grav generators did pull it up, but it was coming up at an angle through the ship instead of what was already there. And that's what the thing with the explosives is, it puts you in the ship to release the rock, so it still did damage. Now this was a little experiment, and I'm not sure how it worked. I accidentally put a cargo container instead of a power supply, or a power generator. Anyways, what I did here was, I think rockets are explosives, so I put a bunch in here in the hopes that when it hit, it would release them, and then the explosives on the side would damage it. So here's us flying to it. It's a lot smaller, and you'll see it hits and blows up. But what I'm not sure of is, I don't know. I'll leave this to you guys. Do you guys think it did more damage? I mean, it did a decent amount. A lot of the decks are gone. So, what I'm going to do to test here is I put 2 explosives, like I had on there, and that's how much damage it did. So, I'm not sure. There's a little less. What do you guys think? This was another design with the explosive on the front, and I put 3 separate cargo containers filled with rocks. I was curious if this would work, and I went against 10 layer heavy armor again. This one I think was a little longer than the original design. You'll see there that they all kind of went out together. There wasn't really as much spreading as I hoped. Maybe if I had made the torpedo wider, it would have, but it seemed like they all just went through one entry. Now it does look like they kind of made a bigger exit hole than normal, but overall not much. Anyways, I also had one more request, and that was to put this on the workshop. So, in this one, there is the red ship, and this is the first design of the enclosed torpedo, and it didn't work for me, but if you guys wanted to mess around, see if you could get it to work, maybe to protect the explosive, be my guest. No matter what I did, I couldn't get it to work. These are the successful versions. It's got the removed armor right there, and the taken off front. You can put a cover over those slightly, and they still work, but as you saw, it doesn't go as fast. These are the original designs, and then those are 2 other designs I tried. This one wasn't shown, but it had a cargo container in front and one in the back. There's the modded ship. And if you've ever had any models or anything where you have they're connected like on a little plastic board, and you snap the pieces off, that's pretty much what this is so that you can copy and paste it into another world, and all you have to do, and as you'll see, it's got the 50k stone in there. So all you have to do is just remove this piece and then attach it to landing gears, and it's ready to go in whatever world you wish. anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you appreciated the video. Leave feedback below. If there's anything you want me to try out, also leave that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.